Okay, so we are back with another episode. We just were extracting the bike info services from the view controller, and I believe we finished that.
Yeah.
So we can move that into done. And now we're going to do contract testing of the bike sharing API. Something we went into a little, but Tiago can explain more about.
Yeah. So if we go back to the service that we defined and that we extracted now, it's
Where
the
do we have
Trento bike station service. No, the other one.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We had the service here.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, the Trento one, the concrete class. Yeah. So in here, the service gets the bike stations information for the city of Trento. And at the moment, we don't have this tested. And we also have the other disadvantage that if they change the API for some reason, our app breaks.
Yeah.
So it will be nice to have like this sort of what they call contract testing, like this sort of contract with them. But since we don't own this service or we don't like own this third-party service, a way to do it will be sort of to kill two birds with one stone, is to write a test that has this real service.
Yeah.
No? And we will run it, I will say, like as frequent as we need confidence for it. For example, for this application, maybe one time per day, it's more than enough.
Okay, so you can set that running. How would you set that running?
Yeah, it needs to be some sort of CI system that triggers this and runs this scheme of testing. That could be an option. Another option, in here we are doing like I was saying, two things at the same time. We are testing this concrete service, and we are also verifying that the API works as expected.
Yeah.
So maybe it can be a little confusing, but to set it up running, it will be like a normal triggered build, but instead of building our app, the CI will run this scheme test, this testing scheme, I will say.
Okay.
What we don't want in this case is to run this test each time that we do command T or command U. Every time that because we want a fast feedback. And this
is a slow test.
This is a slow test, is using the network. Maybe the API is down for some minutes. Maybe our internet in our PC, like, it's flaky, so we get a failing test and we start doubting, it's really
and
works.
it's adding something repeatable, not repeatable into the test because it has like an external.
Yeah, exactly.
dependence.
It has two testing smells. First is an external dependency that you can control, and second is a slow test. So we can start doing that, adding the test for it. And like I was saying, maybe it's better to create a different scheme for the tests, because right now we have the fastbake tests that have our unit tests.
Mm-hmm.
And these ones we run each time we make a change in the app. No? But we don't want that. We want it to be a separate target. So if we go to our project settings, you can add more than one test target, you see. We have one for the unit test, one for the UI. We can have a third one. Maybe call it, I don't know, integration testing.
So for us to add a target, do we come down here?
Yeah, exactly. And now there is a test, unit testing bundle, exactly. The only difference between these two is one doesn't have access to the APIs and tests as a black box, and this one has access to the API. Is the one that we want.
Wait, but the UI testing has access to the APIs?
No, UI testing tests as if it was a user clicking around, the other kind of test that we have done in the past.
This goes deeper.
Yeah,
Okay.
This one actually you can access the API. Yeah, you see in here where you say target to be tested actually exposes.
Okay.
Yeah. But with product name, maybe we can call it integration tests. I don't know. Or integration.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, we can see that he created a folder called integration. and we can start modifying this one to test the trend